Why was episode Controversial Conversations podcast episode 8? You hear me? You here with the all-star panel. You got me, Los Angeles Street Vlogs. You got my dog J Beast. You got my dog Boo Boy. And you got my dog Flawless. You hear me? Man, without no further ado, we're gonna jump straight into it. Nolan Wells update. You hear me? First and foremost, I want to say shout out Colin Kaepernick. You hear me? Colin Kaepernick is paying all expenses in the Nolan Wells case. He's covering all expenses. Katie McCormick is the girl that was supposedly last saw speaking with Nolan Wells. They found his phone. They checked the records. His location history didn't match. You hear me? His phone had significant deleted history. They said that he was a a heavy social media user, and a heavy picture taker. That's how his family described him. And they said over the last 24 hours, he had no pictures, no videos, no calls, and no text. So yeah, that worried him. Warren Hudson was his friend. He spoke recently in an interview, and he kind of hinted at no foul play, that this was a complete accident, which the evidence do not seem that way from the evidence point of view. So JB's
Yeah, you breaking up a little bit. You can hear me, right?
yeah. I hear you, my bad. My audio a little shaky. Y'all bear
Yeah.
with me.
Yeah, the stuff I saw they interview one of the kids that was with him, and some of his statements was kind of contradictory, and that's kind of what's going around right now. Kind of, I seen that off of Poetic Flacco, and they had like some audio. Now I don't know about the audio with the phone calls and stuff. They saying like in the background of the audio, they was yelling about like somebody's chest and like somebody wasn't breathing or something like that in the background. I mean, I couldn't hear that, but that's kind of the rumor that some people is going around saying, and what they trying to say is the audio saying. So as of right now, it look like nothing is really still not lining up. Nothing is making sense, and the police ain't never came out, and nobody came out and really gave no true facts. It really just turned into like the internet is trying to investigate on their own right now. But yeah, that's
Yeah, man. Something on this. Boo boy, you straight?
Oh man, your mic a little shaky. I didn't know you was saying nothing to me. But I
Hey,
mean,
well,
I'm kind of
everybody just make sure they mic muted whenever they not talking, as my
you
mic be
you
going in and out.
you clear now. Everything right there you said was clear, but we got you. But yeah, I'm kind of with bees on this. Is like there's a lot of there's a lot pointing to a faulty play, man. At the end of the day, somebody trying to cover up something. Big social media person. At the end of the day, people today, social media is everything. So I'm sure if he played in his phone and did a lot of, he was on some type of outlet when it came to the social media as far as Facebook's or Instagram or something like that, displaying his day, what he gonna do, shit like that. So it's too much missing, man. I'm with Beast on that.
All right, cool. U.S. hostiles have Then we what is a content creator? Think a content creator is and what they should do. What is a content creator? Yeah, you hear me now?
Man, you shit still sound like auto tune choppy, man. Like you a Autobot. Your shit tripping.
I was gonna this JC. I was gonna say with the Nolan Wells. It seemed like I was hearing that maybe they should get another lawyer to kind of explain the case because it seemed like the whole thing about getting another autopsy was supposed to give us some answers to some of these questions, right? And the state had already removed his lungs, his kidneys, and other like body organs or whatever. So up front, they already knew that we wasn't gonna be able to get the answers that we was looking for. So I'm thinking, I'm thinking maybe it's kind of a little bit too, kind of like you're looking for too much clout or whatever, instead of trying to find some real answers to what happened. So maybe they should get a lawyer that's not necessarily a celebrity type lawyer.
Right. Okay. Y'all can hear me now? Sound better?
Yes, sir.
All right. So look, the next topic is what is a content creator to you? So I'll get me out the way real quick. I think content creator is someone who find lane, they find them a path that they can take your like it's basically like whenever they say you can do the job that you love. Find and it don't have to be something you love when you making content. I just love. I ain't gonna say I love it, but I like to express opinion. You know what I mean? So yeah. I express my opinion on a lot of things. So content creating give you the opportunity to express your opinion. It's kind of like music, art. You know what I mean? You get to express your opinion on how you feel. But Boot Boy, what you think?
I mean, when it comes to content creation or being a content creator, I think it comes with a lot. And I think there's a lot of levels you can view it from. Yeah, they got the form of like the art expression, you can say, or the music aspect of it. But at the same time, everybody love everything. So really, we are all each other's entertainment, either in real life or behind the camera. So content creation. I don't know. I think it's just the level you trying to do it on. For like a professional, like lining. I don't think anybody can be that type of content creator. But like as far as just like you say, expressing your opinion or just bringing awareness to what's going on in your surroundings, then yeah. At the end of the day, you creating content. So I can't say you're not one. But a real content creator is somebody that sits down and really, bring a strong message and strong viewpoints with majority facts behind the argument, and what they bringing. But yeah, that's my opinion on that.
All right, JB's, what you think?
Yeah, bro, I'm closer to like what you said. I think content creation is like, you know, it's more about art. I like stuff with substance. I don't like just stuff being out there for no reason, serving no purpose. Uh, Yeah, I think content creation is all about art and like expressing yourself and stuff. So yeah, that's my take on it.
Hey, yeah, okay, but hey, your audio going in and out now too. JC, what you think?
For me, I think a content creator could be any person in film, video, or audio that create an audience that they can monetize they product on to where they can make a living doing it. So they don't need any other job. That'll be their main source of income. You know.
Right. Okay. Yeah, that's what I think, man. I think really, I mean, I vibe with all y'all answers, but I'm gonna say like more lines of like, yeah, I vibe with y'all, but like I see more on lines of like content creation is really, man. Like I said, man, you just find something and you get to it. Like, look, I started content. What motivated me for content creation was living in LA, going out outside, like when I was Keon, we see you going outside and you see like the homeless population, like the people living on the street. Every time I would see it, I'd be like, damn, dog, this shit crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like, man, like
So
people should see this.
can I ask you a quick question?
Yeah, talk to me.
So in the form of content creation that you do, would you really consider it content creating, or would you consider that bringing awareness?
Yeah, because if you go look at my videos that I create my content, I put commentary on. So that's my creation. That's my audio to match the visual. That's
Right,
the
but
way I see it through my eyes.
true, I see, I understand that. But at the end of the day, the content that you're collecting, you're not creating. You're collecting it, and you're putting your own awareness. You want to build the awareness to the world. This is not right. Look what the people dealing with. There's you being a voice for them in that aspect. You're not actually creating content in as far as being a content creator. You're bringing awareness to a situation. That's how I view that. Actually, content creating is you writing a script and we put on roles and skit or whatever, and we bring it together on some whole other. That's being creative and bringing out an idea to the public so
I get, what-
everyone thinking about.
I get what you're saying, right? But by YouTube guidelines, the Fair Use Act, and all this shit, when I go and record this on my recording device, and then I go and put my commentary on it, this is the content that I created. It wouldn't have been there if I wouldn't have recorded it and put my voice on it. So what you're saying, I understand, but that's not what this is. Like it's the content is out there, but until I go and record it and put the audio on it, bro, who else gonna do it? Who else is gonna create the video? The video won't create itself.
You kind of look at it like you're doing documentary. You know, documentary is reality based too. You know what I'm saying? But once you record and put your own spin on it, that's your creation.
That's what I'm saying. You would have never seen all the documentaries that you've seen if someone wouldn't have picked up a camera and said, "Hey, I'm gonna go record this. This is good content." So it's the content that you created.
Right. Yeah, I'm
Stephen
agreeing.
King, Stephen King probably didn't go out there and act in a movie, but whenever you see who gonna get the credit for it, it's gonna be Stephen King. Stephen King gonna get the credit for what he did in the movie because he created the movie. He put the visual and the audio together. That's the basis of creation. Yeah. Anybody else got something on that? J Beast, what you think? You actually create a lot of content. So how you see it?
Yeah, I think if you add your own spin to it, then I look at it like you creating content, like versus like if you just film something about adding nothing to it, then you just film it, and you're not telling a story or nothing. I feel like if you gotta add something to it to really change it from not being anything to being something.
Right, right, and that's why I felt the need to like instead of just recording the video and letting the sound of what's going on play, I felt the need to have to explain like, let me put the commentary on it. That's what's gonna make it mine. You hear me? If I'd have just recorded it and let you see what's going on, then I'm not really making content. I'm just recording. I'm basically a videographer at that point because I just record what happened. I don't change it in no way. You hear me? Like that's the difference. Is whenever you actually put a storyline with the content. You know what I'm saying? But
Your your approach will be different from somebody else can record the same thing, but what makes you unique is your individual perception of the stuff that's going on and what you gonna say, you know?
exactly, and that's what make it. Like I said, if that shit going, if that my bad, excuse the language. Yeah, I'm sorry. If that stuff going on out there, until I pick up that camera and go record it, it's just happening out there. You hear me? When I once I pick it up and record it and you see it, I brought it to your screen. That's my content. No, like everything's happening until you record it. Even the stuff that you think about, you did it, recorded it. But until you put the audio with the visual and edit it, it wasn't your content. You hear me? Yeah, put it out now. That's your content. That's what. But okay, okay. Well, look. What about should cell phones have an age requirement? What you think about that? I'm gonna go later. JB's, what you think about the cell phones and the age requirement?
Hey, come back to me.
All right, but JC, what you think about the cell phones and the age requirement?
Um, I think that'll be a good thing. I think they should have implemented it first before it was free reign. Because back in the day when you would go to like a record store, if you was getting a CD that had adult language, you had to be 18 to get it. You know what I'm saying? That's what a parental advisory sticker came about with Uncle Luke and all that. Or if you was going to a R-rated film, you had to be an adult to watch it, you know? But with the cell phones, you give a kid a cell phone that's, 5, 6, they kind of got free reign to look at all of this stuff. So I would think that and I understand like how the schools and stuff is set up. They need to have the internet. I think every household maybe should have like a desktop in a family room to where they can get their schoolwork done. But as far as a cell phone, maybe make it to where you 18 to get one. That's what I think. And then, they got a whole bunch of studies that talk about, cell phones and bullying in school, making kids unalive themselves or whatever. So I think a age restriction would be good. And you learn, the basic stuff how we learned growing up.
Right, right, right. Boot boy, what you think about the cell phones and the age requirement?
Yeah, I think it should be. I don't think no kid should have a phone like that's their phone until they're at least, in sports. At least in sports. And I ain't talking AAU, Little League basketball. I'm talking high school sports, any form of fashion. You need that type of contact. And high school is a little different for them kids than it is. It worked both ways at the end of the day. Because at the end of the day, them teachers don't be going out all the time having the patience to help them children. Sometimes them children is able to go in a corner and call somebody to talk them down. You know, what I'm saying, take somebody, find some help off of the internet to keep them coping with what's going on in front of them. But it also can persuade them to go unlive someone off of bad imagery of what they get, see, collect, what they brain, what they choose to fit in their brain. But, I feel like, yeah, at least sports wise, at least 15, 16, you show yourself approved. You deserve that for communication to a degree, though. I don't think no kid should get a phone with like internet. Like I'll go with JC point on that when it comes to the kid with the internet, all that free range access and all that. No, I think you got to be grown. I think internet should come with an adult plan. But as far as call text, yeah, I think every kid should get one if they involved in some after school activity. And that's my opinion on that.
Right. So yeah, that's like that's kind of how I see it, man. I think like nah, like a kid shouldn't have like a phone that they can go on the internet freely. I mean, call, text, YouTube app with the kids app on it, restricted from everything else. They don't need no TikTok. They don't need no Instagram. Man, nah. The thing, like, look at Twitter. Look at Twitter these days, man. Twitter is basically South corn. You hear me? Yeah, they don't need no internet like that, dog. And even if they got access to the internet, you hear me? Even if they don't have the apps, they can still access these sites. You hear me? Like yeah, I think, and then if they did have a phone for a kid, I think when you get these phones from the company should be able to like set it to with restrictions to like this only work for calls, text. I don't think that it should just be phones that come like that. I think that they can get a regular phone just like a person get, and the company should be able to set the restrictions. I know they got something like that. You know what I'm saying? I know they got something like that for sure. Uh, that they can do with phones, but I think it should be mandatory that any kid have this on their phone if they under the age of 16. Let's say 16. Matter of fact, let's say 15. I think about 15 years old is a good age that that a kid can start accessing the internet because school projects, all these programs, they gonna be using the internet at school at friends' houses and stuff like that. So I think 15 years old is a good age to open up the internet on their phone. Yeah. Anybody want to rebuttal that?
I was gonna say, with kids as kids live with this technology, so they be knowing more about it than we do. And even if you put restrictions and stuff on there, there's ways around it that they can figure out. So unless you just specifically get a phone that only call and text, I wouldn't even trust them. Like I say, it's too it's too it's too serious. You know what I'm saying? To even put that type of power in their hand. You know what I'm saying? Because so it's always ways around all of that stuff.
Well, I mean, like that's what I mean. When you get it from the company, they should put a restriction on where it won't unlock no matter what. That's what I meant. Like that's why it should be done with the company. So what if they was to try to access it, the company will catch it and they are disconnected. You hear me? Like it's 24/7 surveillance on the phone. Not of their
But think
private
about
life
this.
phones, but
Think about this. Even if you put that type of thing on there, if you download a VPN to where you can mask the phone, then you able to go on any website. You know what I'm saying?
nah, that's what I'm saying. They got restrictions to where the internet won't even work. Without the internet, that's why you gotta handle it from the company. Because all right, it'll be too big of an axe to be like, hey, make 10 billion new phones that don't have none of this on it. So that's why the company should develop some type of software where they can handle it, like to
Well, why
where it
not put
They
don't
it
get
on
call
the
it flip
parents?
phone.
Well, the parents be like, "Hey, only get your kids that's this age flip phone."
Man, you can still go on the internet on a flip phone, boy. I remember I was in jail, boy. That's what I had a little flip Verizon, boy. I used to be all on Facebook and Instagram on that bitch, boy. You can still go
Well,
on
I
there.
mean, the ones that don't have the internet, I'm saying, like, I think it should be a law where the parents is forced to, what I'm saying, give their kids the product that don't do all of that, as far as giving the responsibility to the cell phone company. Cause like I say, the kids they be more advanced than we are with the technology growing up with it. So it's always loopholes that they can figure out that we won't even know.
All right. So what about the PS5? What about the PS5? You give your child a PS5 and the internet, he basically got man, internet machine. He could do anything, even
Right.
if he had a PS4. If he had a
That kind
PS4 on the internet, he can access the web browser. You know,
right, right,
if
right.
they got
So that kind of raised the
they got
question, like if if uh if they if they have to have the technology, what age you think is appropriate for them to have it?
I say 15. I really, I remember what ninth grade. You be like, yeah, about ninth, what really junior high for presentations. Word docs and all this shit. You start learning that. You start learning typing. Like, you got to take computer lab. I don't know if they still do all this, man. I'm a 90s baby. So, but I know around them times you got to start taking all these internet-based courses. So that's why I feel like around that time you can open up to them, but a 6, 7, 8, 9 year old don't need no internet, dog. A 10, 11 year old don't need no internet because 10 and 11, 10, 11, and 12, the coming years before a teenager is real impressionable. Yeah, they real impressionable, dog. You have your little 11, 12 year old hollering 6, 7. That's why all the kids hollering all the little internet things. Because they on the internet and they trying to get into that. Oh God.
And then, like I say, in high school, it's a bunch of self deletion from being on them cell phones with the kids. You know what I'm saying? If they getting like cyber bullied or whatever, they be feeling like the world know. You know what I'm saying? So they self delete. So I'd say for it to be that serious, I don't think they should have them in high school. I think wait till they 18. You know what I'm saying? As far as like schoolwork and stuff, you could do that on a desktop, like in the family room or whatever. But I wouldn't. I don't think. I think they should make cell phones strictly for adults.
All right. Anybody got anything on that? Jay, Boot Boy, you got anything on that?
Nah, not really. I kind of made my points. Like I said, when it's required, they should get permission from their parents to be able to access that and that only. Outside of that, nah, man. The internet at the end of the day is a bad influence on all of us. So, some use it for good, most use it for bad, but it just it's like having a best friend in your pocket. They got all the knowledge you need to know at whatever age you're required to know the knowledge at. Like long as these kids can read, shit, know how to spell a little bit, not this shit, they really don't even need to do that. If they know how to press Google Talk and just talk to, and let Google just put it in for them. That's all they need to be deceived. But that's my point, man. You got it. Yo,
Yeah. No, we good. Okay, well, hey, we'll move on to the next topic. Man, this is a good one, man. What is life after death? What y'all think? JC, what you think life after death is?
Hmm. I don't know. It's kind of a philosophical question. I think that's one of the oldest mysteries in life. What happens when you die? If you're a religious person, and some people think that you wait until maybe in like a purgatory or something, and you wait until judgment day to decide where you're gonna go. But I be looking at Joe Budden podcast. I mean Joe Rogan podcast a lot, and they be talking about taking DMT, and they feel like that's another dimension or whatever. Maybe you might go to a place like that. So, but then I also be looking at a bunch of near death experience videos. So maybe as soon as you pass away, you either go to heaven or hell. That's what I'm
Okay,
thinking.
okay. Boo boy, what you think?
I mean, see, my opinion comes from biblical standpoints, biblical base. Biblically, it said that the righteous don't die and the wicked sleeps in a slumber. The heaven we think we all get, Revelation show you that heaven hasn't been built yet. Therefore, when we die, we don't necessarily go. I mean, when we unalive, we don't necessarily go to the upper room yet. That's the whole point of the final judgment. It's not all peaches and cream, but that's like JC said when he spoke. He said, "If you're religious, me personally, I'm a religious man. I don't. I think logic. It just makes sense when the Almighty return. He gonna return for all of us, not just come get us in bunches. That's just my opinion on that. But yeah, life after unaliving. Yeah, it's just a recycled situation, son. If you was in my opinion, if you was a wicked spirit, you come back in a different vessel from but that same wicked spirit. If you was a righteous spirit, you're sealed up until the day of judgment, and then you'll get the kingdom that will be built here on earth. And that's my opinion on that.
Okay, yeah, I kind of I feel. Look, I'm a spiritual man, dog. So all I can say is, man, life after death, you gonna go to heaven or hell. That's simple, dog. If you believe in God, you believe in Jesus Christ, or whatever your beliefs is, man, you gonna either go to heaven or hell. And I believe in heaven and hell because look, I know some people before they was passing away, they was trying to get in refrigerators, like they was already hot, feeling like their body was burned. Like man, basically on his deathbed about to pass away, he trying to crawl in a refrigerator. You know what I'm saying? It's a sad sight. I didn't see it myself, but it was detailed to me. And I was told that it's a real sad sight, dog. You see a man about to take his last breath, and all he can do is try to crawl into the refrigerator. He trying to get in the freezer. So I believe in heaven and hell. I also believe in heaven and hell because I believe in God, and I believe in God. Man, God show himself to you. Man, you gotta stop some time, dog. You gotta stop some time, and you gotta pay attention to the universe. God made the universe in the image of what He saw for man. So the universe is gonna speak to you. The universe is gonna talk to you. Yeah, a human body uh is 70% water and 30% clay. The earth is 70% water, 30% clay. You're dirt. I'm gonna say dirt. I ain't gonna say clay. And the human body have hot veins of red hot blood running through it. The earth had red hot lava running through it. A human have hair, the earth have trees and grass. Man, if you pay attention to the universe, the earth is made in the form of man. You dig? And you can be as ghetto, you can be as smart as you want to be, you can be as ignorant, you can be as bougie as you want to be. At the end of the day, it's like you gotta believe in something. If you don't believe in nothing, man, you will live a rogue life. You will live a roguish life, dog. If you don't believe in nothing, you will have no morals, you will have no values, you will have no standards that you hold yourself to. You hear me? When people have nothing to believe in, they have nothing to live for. You hear me? That's really what the world gotta understand. Even if you don't believe in God, you need to find a belief in something. Because when you believe in nothing, man, you have nothing to live for. You know what I'm saying? Man, welcome in everybody that came in. You hear me? Yeah, but that's what I feel. Anybody want to rebuttal that?
Yeah, well, they got some people that's atheists, uh, and they still good people. You know what I'm saying? Some people just don't believe that it's a God, and maybe what you think happens is what happens to you. Like if you're a Muslim person and you think that this is what happened after you die, maybe that's what you get. And if you're a Christian person and you believe this happened when you pass away, then that's what you get. Maybe. You know what I'm saying? But who knows?
Yeah, I don't know. I feel those people. I understand those, but I'm gonna ride with God. Believing in God made me a good person. You hear me? I grew up in a church. I grew up in a Baptist church and a Catholic church. My dad was Catholic. My mom was Baptist. You hear me? And believing in God made me a good person, dog. Even though I grew up in a church, I still had my little runway. I wasn't too much of a good person. But then coming back to God, finding God again, and coming back to the Lord, man, that changed my whole trajectory of my life. You hear me? So that's why I say people should believe in something. When you believe in something, you can always come back from.
I
You
agree with
don't, yeah, yeah. Boo boy, you want to say something on that?
I mean, I can say a lot on that. So many ways I can play it. But JC, to that little point you made earlier, you say atheists don't believe in God. Well, it's kind of ironic because you gotta believe in him in order not to believe in him. You feel me? You gotta believe he's real and he exists for you to say, I don't believe that it's God. You gotta believe it's real not to believe that something's real. There's a higher power that I don't believe in. But yeah, there's so many ways I could go with it, son, because you made some strong points too, LA. But I look at it like this. All people ain't selected. All people. If we were made in God's image, I'm sure it's things that God made that He don't like and He do like. I'm sure it's things God love, and I'm sure it's things God hate. We share those same traits as people, but we don't think God moving. Like we have logic. We're logical creatures. God is way more logical. Where you think we get the logic from to understand and see and comprehend things the way we do, to be able to take it as far? Because He give us the logic to see. But at the same time, everything ain't for Him. Everything works in His will because some people are put here to be an example of what to be and what not to be in life. And that's my personal opinion when it comes to those that believe and don't believe. And like, how can you believe God not real if you don't believe there's a God? But yeah, man.
your
All
point.
right, man.
Because I think it's more evidence that God exists than not. So I don't see how people can believe that there's not a God, because how everything is just connected. You know, the fact that we as humans breathe oxygen and exhale carbon dioxide, and plants breathe carbon dioxide and exhale oxygen. You know, it's like and everything kind of work like that. Everything is connected, from cows eating grass and us eating the cows. You know, everything get its energy from the sun. And once the sun charge the plants, the animals eat the plants, we eat the animals. But then you got to make, like, a cow has like 4 stomachs to be able to even process the energy to get from the plants. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of like everything is connected. And to LA point, like how, even how you was describing the earth in the image of man, even with the solar system, like the nine planets going with the 9 systems of the body and everything. So to me, I think it's more evidence that God do exist. Because if everything was just random, it'll be like if you was pouring water on the table, it would start dripping off to the side. You know what I'm saying? So if everything was just random, I think it'll be too much chaos. The fact that the universe is organized, I think that show you that it's something, you know what I'm saying, moving all this stuff.
But in order for that water to be random, you had to pour it on that table first. So in that aspect, that would be you being God. Before all this randomness came along, I had to pour that water on the table for that table to flow over. If I
Right, but
never
I'm
brought that
saying,
picture
if
to that
if
table,
all this,
it
if
wouldn't have
God
been no
didn't exist,
flood.
that's
That's
what I'm
what I'm
saying. If
saying though.
God
Like
didn't exist,
we
it'd be
agreeing
too
with each
much
other. We
chaos, I
agreeing
think.
with each other. Yeah, but it is because at the end of the day, he gonna wash his hands with a lot when it comes to how we living as individuals. If you live in a sinful life, son, people can feel how they feel about sin. But you tell your child don't do something and your child do it, that's gonna upset you in some aspect. It might not make you mad, it might upset you. It might not upset you. It might make you disappointed. You might be sad from it. But this all work the same way. The spiritual realm has rules. If we can't keep up with the rules in the spiritual realm and show ourselves approved in the physical, we won't make it to the spiritual because we chose to live the way we wanted to live in sinful lifestyle, thinking our pleasure now is more important than later. How you gonna want to make it to the golden gates at the end, but you living how you want to live now, carefree, thinking you're gonna be forgiven when you disrespected your father all your life? You ain't even show him one glance. You know, that's just yeah. Y'all can have the flow, man. I'll be talking all night on this. Go ahead, though.
Right now, I say, man, my thing is that there's so many different religions. I feel like if we all believing in God, it's one band, one sound. And my only issue with religion. So when it comes to life after death, I heard JC say it's like whatever you believe in, and that's what you're gonna get. Nah, I don't know. I think it's one law. I think it's one law. I don't think you're gonna get whatever you desire. Nah, not at all. You're gonna get what he created for you. You gonna get what you should expect from him. And if you ain't do the right thing and you go to hell, then shit, you're gonna get. Well, matter of fact, I kind of believe that. All right, me and JC was talking one day. I think that you gonna experience whatever you went through, the worst stuff in your life. You gonna just experience that over and over. That's the definition of hell. You know it, but you know it. I mean, we can talk about this all night.
With the near-death experiences, son, the way that they describe hell, son, it's more than torturous. Like, uh, the only way to describe it is hell. You know what I'm saying? But I don't think it's you just living your worst parts. I think is constant pain and, you know what I'm saying, anguish. So, but I was gonna ask y'all something. Do y'all think, because God made everything, right? He made a good, he made a bad. And I think the reason he made the bad was to inform the good. Without bad, you wouldn't get good. Just like without pain, you wouldn't get pleasure. You know what I'm saying? So, what y'all think about that? Y'all think it's a good thing that bad does exist?
I think everything is based off of heaven and hell. Heaven as the good, hell as the bad. Everything gonna have an opposite. That's how the universe is created. That's why it works so well. Because in order for you to appreciate what you get, you had to understand what it was like not to have it.
Right.
That's the way the universe is created. If you wouldn't understand what it's like to be happy if you didn't know what it was like to be sad. You wouldn't understand what it was like to be loved if you didn't know what it was like to be unloved. You get what I'm saying? So I feel
Right.
like
That's
everything.
kind of my point. What Boot Boy and JB's, what y'all think about this?
What was your question again?
Like, you think it they got good and bad. You think having bad is a good thing? Or should it just been good? You know what I'm saying?
I mean, but it was good. Yeah, in my opinion, from my spiritual understanding, it was always good until they chose to idolize another god. Then that's when sin came into our lives. So bad was always there and already created. So it was necessary for us to understand. Yeah, like it's just like growing up as a kid, understanding of what society deemed as right and wrong, good and bad. You know what I'm saying? It's like you gotta know the opposite because if we're always just living just to live, then it'll be way more chaos than we really think. If I can just unalive anybody with no consequences behind it and wake up and do it 10 more days in a row to whoever I feel like who would survive in that world? The world will depopulate faster than anything.
Right, right, right.
It was
So
it was chat. Hey, this controversial conversations panel, the ASI panel after this, but y'all staying chill though. We got good conversation here.
but yeah, man, it gotta be good and bad. It gotta be right or wrong. It gotta be up and down. It gotta be left or right. It gotta be. That's just like God. God, if, for those that do believe, God is so righteous to where he couldn't wear the face of wicked. He had to create a being and a legion of people to follow that being to show you what a real definition of wicked is because he created it. So he had to display it for us. Just like he created us and he had to display it for them. That's why hatred exists. But yeah, that's my
But
opinion
yeah,
on
that's my
that.
own
Beast you had a flow.
how to flow. Right, right, right. Okay. So man, we're gonna move to the next topic, man. Self-driving cars. Driverless robo taxis such as Waymo and Beidou Apollo Go. Waymo cool, dog. If y'all ain't never took a Waymo, y'all gotta take a Waymo. That thing pull up with nobody in it. You hear me? Boom, more cars are moving from level 2 to level 3. That mean that they going from where you gotta have like your hands on the wheel and your eyes on the road at all times to where you can full no control the car take over. Like you can get in the back seat and the car drive itself. So that's what level 3 means. And like people like Mercedes Benz, Jaguar, all these people is adopting this. And Tesla relies solely on visual AI compliance. Tesla is one of the self-driving cars that it don't have all the extra sensors and stuff. Tesla is solely compliant off of visuals. They use cameras only and AI technology. Uh, so man, what y'all think about self-driving cars, man? Boot bar.
Man, I ain't cool with it. I ain't no kid. I'm a 90s baby. I was born back in the day. I like to know I can get myself there. You know, it's crazy. We gonna rely on the computer to drive us to where we going. when we can't even rely on our cars that we drive half of the time to take us where we headed themselves. So it's just ironic. But I feel like it's just another way of dumbing us down, making us lazy. Just the less we do, the more we depend on the government. Nobody want to do nothing no more. Like it's sad to me. It's to a point to where now people want to just be able to press a button and get whatever they want. Oh, I'm hungry. I want some steak. Press a button, steak appear in front. It's like, bro, you don't want to work to get the flavor there. You don't want to experience nothing no more. You just want to be able to just say I did it. Like it's just dumbing us down and numbing us to our reality, turning us into bots more and more every day, stripping us from our own limits more and more every day. It's like y'all ready, man. It's just crazy to me, man. They breaking society, brother. It ain't gonna be what it used to be. Somebody got to take a trip with you to drive. No computer. Your kid can go to the store on his own because the computer gonna drive him. It's like what? Man, come on, bro. They killing us, brother. But that's my opinion on that.
Okay. JB, so what you think about them self-driving cars?
Hey, I like it. Man, I done experienced it. Sound like you might have been in one too. But I experienced it in Tesla. So the one with Tesla, man, that damn was almost unbelievable, man. I drove a Tesla, you know, I took a road trip in one, and I used the self-driving almost the entire time. And it surprised me how this thing basically, man, it was like a movie. You put in the address where you want to go, and the car would drive you there. It take you in the parking lot and even park the car for you. So and that's just how advanced it is right now. I done used it like some years ago before it was this point. At this point, yeah, they done made some crazy advancements with it. So I'm on board. I feel like a lot of like people in the Uber and stuff, they might be against it because this show gonna take some jobs once it actually gets to a point where you really don't need no driver like that. I can see some backlash coming from it, but, but I'm definitely on board with it because I mean I drive a lot, so I'll actually use it. I'm just one of the people that'll use it. Yeah.
Okay. JC, what you think about the self-driving car?
Honestly, I'm actually with it, son. I think it look cool. I'm actually thinking about getting a Tesla Model Y specifically for the self-driving. Right now is supervised, uh fully autonomous or whatever, but I hear by the end of this year it's supposed to be unsupervised. So well, like you say, you can go to kind of like that show Upload, where you
It's
can go to
called
sleep.
level 3. The unsupervised came right now. Teslas are working off a level 2 on road, hands on wheel, eyes on road.
Yeah, I think it's a good thing. And then eventually you won't have to have a license to get a car. You know, uh, but to Boot Boy's point, the more we rely on these machines and everything, the less we gonna know. You know what I'm saying? But on the best case scenario of everything work like how they say it's working and it don't malfunction, I think that's gonna be a interesting world to live in. Like no more traffic accidents, no more speeding tickets. I kind of can't wait for it. Like I'm with it.
Yeah, nah, definitely, man. Me and we didn't take the way more, man. They pull up with nobody in there, but I was a little intoxicated that night, so I forgot to take a video or anything. You know, well, I wasn't in a position to take a video that night. But next time we take one, I'm definitely gonna record the experience, dog. Hey man, you don't gotta worry about talking to no driver. You just get in the car and keep doing whatever you doing. Yeah, like some player made. You know, you ain't gotta trip off of nothing. Yeah, dog. I ain't gonna lie, rock with it. Hey, look, I'm all for self-driving. I can't wait till they get the robot all around the city. If you out and you walking, to the little stores and shit downtown, they have little robots passing by you. If you go to Venice Beach or something, you'll see like a real little. They call it the Riz bot. You will see the little Riz bot. He'll run up on you, tripping and shit. Yeah, and then they got Coco. The little Coco is like a little cart. It's like a little cart that they lock. It lock itself. It got a camera on it, and they fill it up with whatever you order, and it drive itself out and deliver itself to you. It park right. Yeah, people be helping them out, putting them back on track and shit. Yeah, dog. Real talk. I'm all with it. Yeah, I'm all with it. I ain't against it at all, man. I'm 100% for it, man. It's called evolution. Man, we can't stay at the same pace forever. That means we ain't learning and we ain't evolving. I'm all with the computer take over, man. I mean, with the AI thing, I feel like they need to stay in a certain lane with AI because that shit can get dangerous. But for the most part, though, yeah, man, I'm all with that. Yeah, I'm with. I'm all with it. My bad. I got to look beside myself. I forgot where I'm at, y'all. Excuse me. Yeah, but I'm all with it though. I think it's innovative. I think it's going to push us past another point in evolution, and I feel like it's going to evolve the medical world for sure, and it's definitely going to evolve the car industry, like you see. The cell phone industry is going to evolve it. Anything computerized or dealing with technology is going to evolve it. Like your TV soon. Your TV going to appear out of nowhere soon. Like this AI shit gonna evolve all technology. So it's definitely needed. No cap, it's definitely needed. So I'm all for AI, man. AI the world out. Last time I hollered AI, it was Allen Iverson. Now we hollering artificial intelligence. You hear me? I'm artificially intelligent because I just be talking. Man, y'all want to rebut all of that, dude?
Yeah, he was gonna bring this point up too. So think about the elderly people that can't get to their doctor's appointments and all of that, or just too sick to drive in traffic to go to the store and all that. They ain't got to worry about that. I think like I said, I think I'm for it. I think it'll be better. And like you said, remember when you went out to the club, you intoxicated, you ain't got to worry about trying to drive home. You know what I'm saying?
You don't have to worry about trying to drive home now if you order an Uber. I mean, it's the same shit at the end of the day. All they're gonna do is replace machinery with folks. Now, people have no social skills, no motor skills, no nothing. Why you gotta be in your phone all the time so your car gotta drive you where you going? Just because that's all you gonna do in the backseat. Nigga ain't sightseeing, nothing. He gonna play in his phone, play on their computer, or play in watching some type of entertainment.
Man, I think it's
It's
more
like
like I said, man, more evolution though, man. The world gotta evolve. If we stay at the same pace forever, that means that we basically ignorant. If we don't ever evolve and get better and open up the lanes of the things that like if we didn't start doing this electrical thing and we stayed on gas and all, dog, we wouldn't be making it. The world would deplete in a faster pace. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
I disagree. I disagree all the way.
Instead
I
of
feel like
vehicle, you know.
I feel like it's just too much dependence on them. We don't
Let me
create
pose
it. We don't control it.
let me pose a question to you though. You don't believe in science?
I do know not really, but I understand science is a thing. I don't
Explain that
believe
to
it.
me. I don't believe it. Explain that. Elaborate.
I mean, I believe God created all things. Like I said, God is logic. So some people give the understanding to understand how certain things already work. But some people try to go above and beyond this to understand his creation and how he created it. That formula ain't given to the game yet. So at the end of the day, a lot of these people just use for pieces. This is to know and understand certain information about certain information. It's not like they're figuring it. I mean, they're creating things. They just figuring out. That's logic. God give all of us some form, fashion of logic. So I believe that science people consider. I'm gonna say it like this because I don't. I'm gonna say it like this. I know people consider science a thing, but I don't believe it. Maybe yeah, maybe that's a better wording.
So when you was in science class and they were teaching you science, you didn't understand what they were teaching.
I said I
I said,
understood,
"Ah,
but you're not giving me nothing that's not already. It's not like you created this and telling me and giving me the understanding of how it's created. You're showing me how the creator put these things together to so I don't need to understand that. That's what I'm saying. I only understand small things of that nature. So I don't believe it's real science. I guess the science would be considered figuring it out. But I mean that's logic. You figured small things and major things out just from sitting
things I
down
was just
and
looking
thinking.
now and thinking." I feel you. Now let me ask you a question based on what you're saying. You believe in medicine?
Believe in medicine?
Medicine, like you take some medicine in the
Yeah, like
morning.
medicine.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
medicine.
Yeah, I know.
I know.
I believe I believe
I
some of
believe
that
some of
is
that is
necessary for some
necessary for
folks.
some folks,
But I believe in it
but
for the
I
most
believe in
part
it
your
for the most
body
part. Your
have
body
the ability to
have the
naturally
ability to
heal if
naturally
you
heal.
work with it.
A person with diabetes whose body don't produce insulin. You believe in
That's
insulin?
why I said for some folks, some people need the little things they figure. 'Cause all creators
All right.
get
All
their
creators
ideas
get
from
their
both.
ideas from both. Point I'm trying to get to is medicine is chemistry. Chemistry is science. You know what I mean?
But my point I'm trying to get to is people always have the logic, always had the logic, even from ancient days, to understand this herb and this herb gonna give this kind of effect. It was necessary for some things, but nobody just randomly say, "Hey, let's put all these trees together and see what it do."
To see what
It
it
was
do. All right. It
broken
was
down. It was
broken down. It was to follow where you at though, real quick. I don't mean to cut you off. But all right, back in the day, right, if they had to take some berries, some water, some spices, all this shit and mix it up, right? A plant, they take a plant, they mix it all up, right? And that's what will cure them. Even though it's natural and it's from the earth, that's still chemistry, it's a process. They took certain material and mixed it to make what they needed. That was chemistry, that was science. They had to know the chemistry in order to make this thing. So you get what I'm saying?
Oh no, I hear what you're saying. I'm just because, like I said, just because you figured out how the creator put these things here for us to be able to do these things with, it don't impress me. I don't. I'm not big on it, brother. That's what I'm saying. I know all things come from God. God just
This
gives
what
some of us
I was
ability to figure out how to use certain things.
this what I was going to say about that. Don't you think? Because some people say God answer our prayers through individuals, give them the insight to make medicines and cure diseases and all of that. That's why they say the graveyard is full of buried treasures because of the
But
ideas that
listen,
us as humans have to help us innovate.
listen, you can pray to God all day, but if you ain't finding different materials and trying it out, your prayers never be answered. He's not gonna drop it in your life.
Say it again. You was kind of choppy.
I said if prayer without effort is merely a prayer. If
Yeah,
you
prayers
could
without
pray
words, but I'm saying for us, for your prayers is answered through individuals that God give the insight to make these medicines and whatever. So like you
right,
said, when with the insulin in the kidneys, maybe they had people that prayed for a miracle. You know what I'm saying? And a person end up was smart enough to understand, hey, this plant produced the insulin that us humans need. You know what I'm saying? And through that, the prayer had got answered. So maybe God give us these brains
hey,
to do all
a
of this
fun
stuff.
fact. No, no, go ahead. My bad. I thought you was finishing. Go ahead.
No, I'm basically aligning with what you're saying. God give us these brains, you know what I'm saying, to figure all this stuff out to help each other, so
Right.
we can
See,
keep advancing.
my point to science is God and science can actually exist. You remember with the theory of evolution, just because science exists don't mean God can't exist, dog. Like God, somebody got up one day who was having a medical issue, and God gave them the intellect and the sophistication that they needed to go put together a medicine in order to preserve life. You
Right.
hear me? God will always give you the necessary needs to preserve life. He ain't put you here just to pass away. He put you here to live and then pass away to leave a legacy to help the
And try to
world.
make it
Hey,
better for the next generation.
everybody that's here is put here at the time that they put here because at some point in their life, they gonna make the world just a little bit better for the people that's coming after them. Even the people that do a whole lot of wrong. By them doing this, they open up avenues for people to figure out how to combat this. So the people that's coming later, like you think of the serial, what's it called? All the ones they done had in history, now the police be on them in a minute because they didn't figure out how to combat them. You don't see how technology, man. If you go do something and you got your cell phone in your pocket, them people gonna know your every move.
Not just
So
that,
it
like you
made
say, if you ever look at Criminal Minds, how they'll take all the serials, you know what I'm saying, and they'll kind of map it on to different individuals that they looking for. So if they know this serial is this type of person, from all the other evidence that and data that they had from serials, they'll be able to identify who it is.
right, exactly. That's what I'm saying. So technology is actually helping the future generations to come. But man, we're gonna go ahead on and we're gonna move on. You hear me? All right, this is a little more personal question. It's subjective to how you feel. Should your relationship with your friends, family matter towards your friendship? You hear me? JC, what you think?
I think as a parent, you would want to know who your kid's friends is, but individually, probably not, because you make friends with people. That's that. People always say, watch who you hang with, or if your parents say, "Hey, I need to know who your friends," that kind of infer that you have friends before they know them. So now I don't think them actually knowing your parents should hinder y'all relationship.
Boo boy, what you think?
Yeah, I don't give a damn about your family. At the end of the day, man, you might have came from a bloodline of snakes and the only real genuine deal. You know what I'm saying? That one gem in your family. Are you just around a bunch of snakes? That's all I can really say. But yeah, I don't believe that your family can determine your friendship. Some of your family, in most cases, your family is the reason why you look for friendship. Because if you and your family was just that tight knitted and tight unit, you wouldn't look for nobody outside of the bloodline to really just kick it with, unless y'all develop that throughout life experience. But for the most part, yeah, I don't see why me having to know your mama got anything to do with me looking out for you or helping you or kicking it with you. You know. So yeah, that's kind of my
So
take
yeah,
on
that's
that.
kind of my take on that. Well, I mean, that's what I kind of see it like, dog. Like, I got plenty of friends. I got plenty of friends that, like, well, I don't really got friends, but I got a couple friends for real. But I got plenty of people that I know that I've considered friends, and then I got real close friends who I probably haven't met their family, but we've been cool for, man, 20 plus years. So that's my dog. We family at this point. So it don't matter who I don't know that you know or who you know that I don't know. None of that don't matter. You know what I'm saying? The only thing matters is that we know how we deal with each other. Long as me and you here and we know what's there, man, I don't gotta meet nobody else. Now, if I was to meet them one day, I'd treat them the same way I treat you. You know what I'm saying? But as like, cause and this question really posed because they had like some content creators I was watching over the weekend. They going back and forth right now, and they was like brothers. And one of them said like one of them did a video and he had his mama in it, and the mama was like, "Well, I don't know. Well, if y'all know Jack TV and Gabe that was on Jack TV, that's what I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying? The mom was like, yeah, I don't even know Gabe's last name. So I just feel like that was kind of a low blow because it's like even though you don't know his last name, y'all been around each other. So like that was just fake to me. It's like at the end of the day, if you know the man, you know the man. Don't try to discredit nobody just because y'all having of like. And then I feel like that was crazy of him to bring his family into that. Like in between you and your partner, you got your mama speaking on your partner. So that's how this question even came about. Because it's like, man, I mean, if me and my partner got into it, I'm not going to get my mama. So that's why I mean, like, it don't matter if you know if they know your family. Like, what does that matter? Some people move out of state and their mom never is in that city. So how you gonna? That's why you've been living here for 15 years. Your mom never came here. You always go visit her. Your partner live in the city with you. Like that make him no less your partner. Like, nah, that don't make sense. Y'all got anything I want to say to that?
It is with I had seen something Poetic Flacco did with one of the friends of Nolan Wells, and he was describing saying that him and Nolan been knowing each other since middle school, and that was his brother or whatever. And when the podcaster asked him, like, have you ever met his mom? And he was basically like, nah, every time we linked up, he would always come to my house. So Nolan knew his mom. You know what I'm saying? And it was kind of like, to me, it was kind of a side eye to be like, how could you be that close to him if you ain't never met his mom since middle school? But to the question of what you're asking, should that matter with your friendship? I don't think so. But I did have kind of a side eye to that though, you know.
But like I ain't giving no excuses for the Nolan Wells friend because I don't like the situation at all. Like if you've been paying attention to that Nolan Wells situation, you definitely it don't matter if you were blind, you can see that it's some foul play there. But with the point of what was going on, man, I done had plenty of friends come over to my house, and I never been in their house because my house was the spot. That was kind of how I got my leeway. Like if you got company, they can come. I'd rather them come over here. Like I really grew up in the house with my dad. You know what I'm saying? So that's his mindset. Like if you gonna have company, you wanna go be somewhere. I'd rather them come here. And he wasn't never really home all the time. So most of the time we just cool and we had free reign. So I understand that. And then I done had friends where they never came to my house. I always would go over to their house. You hear me? So it have been time where I experienced both. So that's why I be like, that don't really give me to say like something wrong. It's just the fact that of what happened, what actually happened, and nobody don't know nothing. Nah, how nobody don't know
Maybe
nothing. How you gonna tell
maybe
me?
that's kind of why I was looking at it with a side eye because of the whole situation around it. But as far as should your friends relationship with your family determine your friendship, I guess yeah, you got a point on that.
Right. Boo boy, you got anything else?
Nah, man. Nah, that's your family at the end of the day,
All
man.
right.
You good, you good.
Okay, okay, okay. Man, we're gonna move on to the next topic, man. Is America a corporation? Boo boy, what you think?
Most definitely, man. I mean, everything is ran by like a business. Even though we structure our house is a business, it got to be flowing. Everything got to be everything for the house to feel like a home. Yeah, I feel like America is most definitely the biggest business, the biggest corporation. I mean, picture this: we all start working today. What's gonna happen? Everywhere. I'm talking all 50 states. Everybody just stop working. What do you think? What's gonna happen to America? It's gonna plummet. And it's gonna drop. Yeah, son, I think America is the biggest business, the biggest corporation of them all. And the mere fact that we're constantly bringing children into this world, left and right, man, they got billions and billions of employees to work this system. But yeah, man, that's how I feel about that.
JC, what you think?
To a certain extent, it is because to Boot Boy's point, it take us all to work to even make the country go. And even on paper, a corporation could be a person because it pay taxes and everything. It has its own name, the LLC and everything. So even on paper, a corporation is a person. You know. So yeah, I think America is a corporation.
I feel like it got the makings of a corporation, but I don't think we're necessarily there yet. I be speaking with certain people who be looking up at these things, and my dog Jay Beast is actually one of those people. And I think it is in that direction, and it's aiming for that, but I don't think it's necessarily exactly that yet. You know what I'm
Well, what
saying?
what
Like
you think? What you think the components that's missing that's not making it a corporation yet?
Jay Beast will be able to tell you that. Hey, see, that's what I'm saying. I'm not speaking straight from my own intellect. I spoke with other people about this and got their opinion. And it's not really my area of expertise. You know what I mean? So I'd rather him elaborate on it. But from what I was told, I'll give you a basically this is what was said. Uh it's still matter of fact, that's one of the things, still a lot of missing components. It's still a big piece of the pie missing, and it's coming together. Uh
You
Mhm.
me, you got something to say on that?
I wanted to hear JB synopsis on like what even makes a corporation, and what pieces is missing to make America not a corporation yet.
Man, we'll probably have to run that back another time.
I
But I
don't, I don't
mean,
see
basically,
what pieces would be missing. You got your small, loud foot soldiers all the way up to your intelligent, intellectual, thinkers. I don't see what's missing. Like they take taxes out of everything. We pay for everything twice, basically. I don't like. Yeah, we fund everything: police, war. It's like how does not a corporation? We basically paying for it's like benefits at a job. We funding these police to keep us contained. We funding these military people to keep the enemies contained. What you yeah, yeah. I
And
don't see
that's
I
like
don't
you say,
personally
even the
see the
everyday
component.
life of maintaining the structures and everything. Because to make a corporation is like three things make something a corporation, and it's the separation from the legal identity, the liability protection, and the state incorporation. So even if you're not in a skyscraper, you know what I'm saying? The fact that, like you said, with the military and everything, and how everybody contribute to it, no matter what. Like if you paying taxes, you contributing to all of this. So to me, it sounds like a corporation.
Right. So man, we're gonna move on real quick, man. We got our our sports. Man, Anthony Joshua had a fight this weekend. He KO'd Christian Pringa in the second round. Um, but Anthony Joshua was knocked down twice by Albania's Christian Pringa. Pringa grounded Joshua in the first 20 seconds of the first round. The second round, Joshua came back. He knocked Pringa through the ring, which called for a tournament. So shout out Anthony Joshua. Uh, but we got a topic that we want to discuss on the sports section, man. Will Adrien Broner make a boxing comeback? What you think, JC?
I think he could come back, but I don't think he'll ever get back to his prime. I think he passed the age and kind of missed that window of training to get back to his prime like he was. A person like Floyd Mayweather that stay in shape all the time, even he not who he was in his 30s. You know what I'm saying? So for him to lose the weight that he need to lose, get the condition and everything, yeah, I don't see him getting back to who he was.
What you think, Boo Boy?
I mean, I think he can make a comeback. Maybe it's mediocre. Maybe it's major. But I don't think like JC was saying, I don't think he missed the time for the condition. Like now for him to really make a big impact, he gonna have to really like be either powerful as hell and no opponent really standing in front of him long, or really use his boxing IQ to defeat his opponent like Floyd do off of defensive tactics and scorecard, not just looking for knockout. But he's up in rank now. He did a lot of damage to his body throughout the years. He was that guy in his prime, and he might still have a little bit left in the tank. But I think now it's more for the experience and understanding the game more than just the abilities. But yeah,
Man, I think, man, I saw that boy. The ball went from bad to stand up, bad about he can't hang out with a train in the morning. Yeah, he said he got a train in the morning. That boy say even though it's a Saturday or Sunday or something like that, still got a train in the morning. You hear me? Yeah. Yeah, man. Look, hey, man, I'm trying to tell you. Yeah.
no. Most definitely, the hunger's still in him now. Cause I seen somewhere when he said he don't care that his mom on the other side of him in that ring. If that bell ring, he putting her to sleep too, and he's standing on it. So yeah, the fight's still in it. The dog's still there. It's just it's a lot of young guns in that game, man. You gonna have to outthink them, set them up, put them in little traps to try to put them. You gonna be able to just punch down everybody now. That body old, man. Working out, you get it, but she. Well, AB got to be in his 40s, mid 40s, late 40s. I don't know, son. Like I said, it got to be off of skill at this point.
Yeah. On God, man. Nah, son. I think AB about to make a comeback for sure. Cause the hunger is in him, dog. He want it. He want it. That boy definitely gonna make a comeback. Man, hey, if you go from drinking every night to telling people you can't hang out because you got to train in the morning, you got your discipline back. Yeah, it's not easy to do that. That's not an easy feat, dog. They got people that go through. They got people that lose it all the time because they can't make this. They can't discipline themselves for this. You know. So yeah, man. Y'all think anything else?
When you say a comeback, you mean a comeback like a career comeback or a couple of
Man,
games? I mean, a
I
couple
think
of
he gonna be.
fights.
I think he gonna be a contender. Yeah, I think he gonna be a contender. Probably not right away, but I think he gonna get a couple fights under his belt, then he can take back off again. Man, you gotta go watch
How old
AB
is
in
he?
a
How
few
long you
years. A
think
few
before
years.
he able to really be considered professional again? Like how long you think his training need to be?
Man, after his first fight, if he show up, then shit, he back in the game. That's how they gonna treat him. That man, you gotta watch boxing. That's how boxing go. If you was that nigga, if you was that dude, if you was that man, and you fell off and you come back and you win them first two fights, man, you back in the contention. Yeah, they're not gonna treat you no different because you gotta respect. Man, when Mike Tyson left and went to jail and when he came back, you saw he won his first fight, what they said. Man, that's Iron Mike. That boy
Right,
went to
right.
jail for 4 years, out the game for 4 years.
Well, to that point, I could agree with you. Like I think he got a chance to do that.
That boy definitely coming back, man. He definitely coming back and he gonna have Dean fighting too. Yeah. He gonna have Dean fighting too. Dean gonna be on the card too. That's the game plan.
Let me
But
ask
I
you
mean,
this:
like I
You
said,
think it's
Dean gets
going? You remember before he uh kind of fell off or whatever? They was kind of comparing him to Floyd. You think he'll ever get back to that point to where they
I
comparing him
mean,
to?
man, look, man, whatever your profession is like riding a bike. You might if Michael Jordan picked up a basketball right now, you gonna see the glow in his eye. You hear me? If Vince Carter stood under a basketball goal with a ball right now, you gonna see the glow in his eye. If Tom Brady touch a football right now, you gonna see the glow in his eye. Man, that's just it. Whatever was your profession, whatever you do, you can walk away from it for years. Soon as you gonna get back in that arena, you gonna perform.
Yeah.
Being younger don't always mean they get the edge though, cooler. Yeah, being young don't always mean they get the edge. You gotta remember, AB got experience. It's things that he know about fighting that these younger fighters still gotta go through fights to experience. You know? You don't see how he be training them dudes. You don't see how he was training Krishan. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I could agree with you on that.
Man, like I said, it's all gonna be skill based from this point forward, my brother. You don't have the longevity in you to be trying to go blow for blow. I am that man. You're gonna have to go from boxing IQ and skill, knowing I'm a block your vision and punch. I'm a like that skill, that's knowing the game that goes into what you were saying, experience. But like I said, it got to come from the skill aspect, not the ability. Not the ability. I don't care who you think he is. You can't train your lungs to just go back to the way they was after you done damage your body all the time. You can't train your organs. You can't train. You can train the core. You can get.
Actually, that's not true. Actually, that's not true. If you can look it up. The day you stop smoking, your lungs start to repair themselves. Yeah.
Since when? Since when we had these abilities as humans?
Scientifically proven. Your lung, your body got natural regenerative qualities about it, dog. Why you think when you get cut, your wound heal? Your body got natural regenerative qualities. It's just all to a certain
Yeah,
extent. So I
not all body
I ain't
parts.
saying get back to 100%, but he for sure gonna get back the way. Nah, son, all body parts got regenerative quality. If you treat it right and you stop putting the things in your body that's harming you, man, any part of your body can regenerate. They got people with cancer go get natural treatments like Dr. Seaver said, and they shake back from cancer. You know what I mean? They developed the medicine to prolong life with AIDS and HIVs and all that. You get what I'm saying? They this came from natural herbs, shit that you get from the earth. You know, so your body got regenerative qualities, dog. Yeah. Oh god. But I mean, if we done with that, we'll move on to the last part of the night, man. Nostalgic movies, dog. Mainly 90s movies. Man, what y'all got the nostalgic from the 90s? My wife said Home Alone. Hey, look, I got 4 quick rundowns for y'all. Y'all ain't watched these, go watch it. Friday, Belly, Sandlot, and Angels in the Outfield, you hear me? Yeah, I ain't gonna go all the way gangster with it. I gotta go, yeah, I ain't gonna go all the way gangster with it. I gotta go a little soft. I'm gonna say Friday, Belly, Angels in the Outfield, and Sandlot. Wine, what's that, Jesse? JC, what you think?
If you ever remember this movie with Shaq being a genie called Shazam,
Yeah. Okay, boy, what you got for me?
Man, no. 90 movies. 90 movies. I think I'm going back. What's more nostalgic to me would probably be, I don't know, like Poetic Justice, Jason Lear, give that or like Love and Basketball, give that old puppy dog love, high school grow up, life what it's supposed to be type feel.
Yeah. JB, you there? My wife said, honey, I shrunk the kid. Yeah, man, I can run off a couple more. Life. Don't forget about life, you hear me? Uh, man, what else, dog? They got like, oh
Space
yeah,
Jam is one.
yeah, Space Jam, Child's Play. Man, what the other one is? Dennis the Menace. Yeah,
I
Dennis
just
the
gonna say
Menace.
that. Y'all remember
Yeah,
this? I don't know. Y'all remember this movie called Blank Check?
yeah, Belly
With
Friday set it off. Yeah, Blank Check. Blank Check was like a little Disney movie. Yeah, that's what my wife said too. Home Alone, Jesse. Yeah, Home Alone, Hocus Pocus, Halloween Town. Yeah, man. Yeah.
So they got this a good movie with Michael Douglas called The Game. It's a thriller mystery. It got a great twist at the end. That's That's a suggestion I got for people to watch. It's called The Game.
Oh yeah, Matilda. Oh yeah, what that movie was? Uh, man, I remember the movie where all the cars, the big trucks was driving themselves. I forgot the name of that movie, dog. All the cars was driving themselves.
It
Hey,
was a
you
horror
remember
movie.
Joyride?
Yeah, Joyride was good. Miss Doubtfire, Flubber. Yeah, Flubber, Free Willy. Yeah, the Mads. Oh God. Yeah.
Lion King. Yeah,
Man,
she
right.
bad. The best,
Toy
the best
Story,
movie I
Cars. Yeah. Oh God. Hey, well look
I think
though.
you was talking about Maximum Overdrive.
Yeah, Maximum Overdrive. That was what I was talking. Casper. Oh God. Goosebumps. You hear me? Hey, but look though, man, it was good having y'all tonight. You hear me? We ain't go Poetic Justice, another one. Yeah, I liked it that. Poetic Justice for sure. Yeah, the fight on side the road is classic, dog. That fight on side the road with Chicago and Janet Jackson. Edward Scissorhands, yeah. Beetlejuice, yeah, yeah. Hey, look, we enjoyed y'all. We enjoyed having y'all. We glad y'all tuned in. You hear me? Oh, appreciate you, Johnny. Hey, ASI panel coming up in a minute. ASI panel is coming up in a minute, man. Matter of fact, in 23 minutes. Yeah, Charlie and the Chocolate Factory car. Yeah, so look, we enjoyed y'all. We glad y'all showed up. You know, that's gonna conclude the episode 8 of Controversial Conversations. You know, man, I wanna shout J Beast, Boot Boy, and JC the Great Flawless One. And you know me, you hear me, man? Los Angeles Street Vlog. Man, y'all tune in to the next panel. ASI panel coming up in 23 minutes. Yeah, 23 minutes. So look, y'all have a good night and we'll see y'all next time.